One of my all-time favorite fragrances. It's extremely nostalgic for me. This is a review I've been meaning to bring for about 2 years to this channel now. I'm talking about the original from Tommy Hilfiger. This is called Tommy. So stay tuned. So I do not have this box anymore, and it's just now dawning on me I could have grabbed my other 1 ounce or other 1.7 ounce that I have still sealed in the box, and we could have went over a cellophane box, but c'est la vie. I'm not going to cut the video and go run grab that. We can take a look at the bottle, however. This is a 30 ml bottle. I did grab this and another 30 ml on clearance quite a while ago, almost about 2 years ago, roughly, from a TJ Maxx. They were on clearance for $8. I bought 2 of them. I bought a 50 ml last year on clearance for $10. So anytime I catch them super cheap, I grab them. You can see the level is very low on this one. It says Tommy on the front, Tommy Hilfiger in the glass on each side. You have some fragrance information on the bottom. Tommy Hilfiger on top of the cap, that iconic cap. Does hold into place, but the bigger bottle is a little bit too heavy because it doesn't click. So I don't recommend holding the 100 mLs from the cap, because I do have some flankers that are 100 ml, and the cap doesn't hold too snugly. Atomizer does its job, nothing special. But that scent, let's get into the scent. So I'll have the notes on screen, but we're not going to sit here and try to break down certain nuances, because I'm just going to tell you a tale of how I feel about this fragrance, because me and this fragrance go back to the 5th grade, okay? And I'm 36 years old now at the recording of this. So that's how long I've enjoyed this scent profile. Is it exactly the same as it was when I was a kid? Not exactly the same, but the scent profile hasn't really changed. The performance slightly. Things get reformulated over the years. That's all part of it in the fragrance world. But up top, you're going to get hit with a heavy blast of bright citrus and greens. Green, green, green. This is as green as they come for a fragrance. They have a cactus note in here that provides this juicy, bitter, fresh spiciness up top with the grapefruit and this mint that's there. Now, not a very minty fragrance, but the mint does add a little bit of brightness with that grapefruit and adds that green this fresh green herbaceousness to go with this cactus note. This is one of the few fragrances I have that features a cactus note, and it's very distinctive here. There's cotton flower, there's cranberry, there's rose, there's all these other notes in there. I don't really get any of that. It does get a little touch of powdery as it starts to settle down in its heart, but up top it's all about juicy greens and citrus. Okay, the cactus, like I said, the cactus really jumps out. As it starts to dry, it gets a little bit woody, but it never gets away from being green. It doesn't really change a whole lot. What you get in the initial blast does change a little bit after a few minutes, and pretty much what you get 5 to 10 minutes into the life of the fragrance is what you get majority of the way through. Performance leaves a lot to be desired, which we'll discuss in a little bit. But the scent profile, I mean, this is 90s at its finest here, people. This smell reminds me more of the 90s than CK1, more than Aqua de Jo even. That's kind of hard to say, more so than Aqua de Jo, but for me personally, yes, because Aqua de Jo wasn't out yet when I got this fragrance. This was very new. I believe it was 1995, if I remember correctly, when this came out. And it was the fragrance me and all my friends wanted. It became Polo Blue and Chrome and Aqua de Jo as time progressed, but it was all about Tommy Hilfiger in the mid-90s, okay? And we were all wearing our Tommy jean shirts, had our Tommy jeans. I mean, the old logo that used to be on the chest that people would call fake Tommies, the Bugle Boys and stuff like that. People in my generation, you know what I'm talking about. And Tommy Hilfiger, it was all the hype back in the mid-90s, and the fragrance fit perfectly because it was dressy enough without being a serious fragrance, but still easy to dress down with a plain t-shirt or just a Tommy t-shirt, if you will, because it was all about matching everything back in those days. I'm not saying it isn't now. I mean, I like to match still, but the fragrance itself, like I said, screams 90s. It's juicy, it's green, it's nostalgic, but it doesn't perform that well. Let's get into that. So to this day, if performance is utmost important to you, which is a lot of you that watch, you're going to hate this fragrance. But if you can appreciate the scent profile for what it is, get a small bottle or a decant, or if you carry a bag, backpack, messenger bag, whatever throughout your day, keep your bottle in there and refresh, because every 3 hours you're going to need to refresh. That's about all I get on it, is about 3 hours. It's definitely on the weaker side, but for me, scent profile is number one. As I've mentioned to you guys before, for those of you hearing this from me for the first time, it's all about how a fragrance smells for me. I don't mind refreshing. I have no problem keeping a bottle with me or keeping a decant depending on the fragrance, because during my daily activities, I have a backpack that I keep on my person wherever I'm going, and it stays with me at my destination every day of my life. So I have no problem keeping a bottle with me. You know, at one time, this specific bottle, when I worked at Mercedes many moons ago, stayed in my desk. That's where a lot of this dent came from. Stayed in my top drawer of my desk. So no matter what, I had Tommy to refresh throughout the day. In the event I was in a rush in the morning and forgot to grab whatever bottle I was wearing for the day, or was in a hurry and forgot to spray something, whatever the case. So 3 hours, not a heavy projector. Maybe an hour, it pushes off your skin, not real far. It's noticeable, it's present. In the first hour to 2 hours, when you walk by somebody, they can smell you. I'm not saying they're going to say anything. It's not some compliment magnet type of scent, but I have gotten compliments over the years with this. It's enjoyable and nostalgic, and it's very fresh and likable, while still having a little bit of a uniqueness. I've never really smelled anything else that smells like Tommy, so it does have that working in its favor. That's one of the reasons I really like. Even if I only got an hour out of it, I would still wear it. I'd just have to refresh every hour. So performance is lackluster on it, but the scent is so good, it's worth it in my opinion. Overall, not a must try, not a must buy. I mean, it's a nostalgia pick for me. I know there are people that still enjoy this because of the nostalgia factor, or even people that are a younger generation than me that found it later in life. There are a lot of people that do enjoy this. This is one of the better cheap fragrances out there that screams 90s. If you want to smell 90s era at its finest, get yourself a bottle of Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger. There's a ton of flankers for the Tommy line, but none of them, not one, and this is my opinion of course, not one of them can hold a candle to the original. For me, holds a special place in my heart. I'll always have a bottle. I still have 2 more bottles for when this one runs out, because it's just that good to me for what it is. It's got a bit of a uniqueness going for it. It's not barbershop, it's not blue. This is long before they became straight up super aquatics. Aqua de Joe kind of really pushed us in that direction. This was right before that. This was a manly fragrance that wasn't too serious, and not a lavender aromatic, you know, old man dated kind of smell, if you will. So definitely one of my favorite fragrances ever created. One that I don't think you have to get, but if you want to try something a little different, that's still going to save you a few bucks, doesn't perform that well, but is kind of unique, get yourself a bottle of Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger. Well, that's my thoughts and feelings on Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have a fond nostalgic memory of this fragrance like I do? It's more than just one memory. It's very near and dear to my heart. This is one of my favorite fragrances ever, because this was one of the fragrances early in life that mattered to me. When it came out, I had to have a bottle. I got a gift set for Christmas, actually. I'll never forget it. I was so excited to open that Tommy Hilfiger gift set that Christmas. And never looked back. This is one of the first fragrances that did it for me, because that was during the time when I cared how I dressed, and I knew smelling great was part of caring how you looked. You want to smell great, It's all part of the ensemble in the wardrobe. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on Tommy by Tommy Hilfiger and you give it a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.